I think Khamzat will take Dricus down, but I believe, and this is obviously just top of the head, if Khamzat doesn't finish Dricus when he takes him down, I don't think he wins that fight. Dricus is one of those dudes that doesn't go away, and he gets better if anything over the rounds. He's just so resilient. So if you don't get him out of there, I don't see him beating him.
Robert Whittaker has just shared his shocking insights on the upcoming matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis. Ahead of Khamzat's fight with Dricus du Plessis, Khabib gave him some quiet but important advice. He told Khamzat to focus more on his boxing. Khabib believes Khamzat's boxing is sharper and cleaner than Dricus's, whose awkward and wild punching style can be hard to deal with. Khabib pointed out that the way Dricus throws punches is tiring, and it's dangerous to just stand there and take those shots for too long.
Прикинь, если я делал бы, я бы посоветовал бы по-другому.
Да.
Вот чисто по боксу пусти их, Khamzat лучше. Вот чисто по боксу. Это мое мнение. Просто здесь есть такой момент. Ты можешь сфорсировать события. Там раунд, 2. Но если ты его не финишируешь, ты очень много энергии потратишь. А потом надо в чемпионских боях.
Раунды, да.
А Khamzat не был в чемпионских раундах. Просто Khamzat в боях ты этого не видишь. Например, с тем же с Камару, с тем же с Гилбертом.
Да.
В поздних раундах он перестает бороться. Он уже дерется в стойке. Сперва борется, если не получится, дерется в стойке. Но если он с самого начала бы с этими же ребятами дрался в стойке, он лучше подрался бы. И с тем же Гилбертом, и с тем же с Камару. Не тратя силу.
However, Robert Whittaker said he expects Khamzat Chimaev to take Dricus du Plessis down at UFC 319. However, in his view, if Khamzat doesn't finish Dricus after getting him to the ground, he doesn't see Khamzat winning the fight, especially if the fight drags into later rounds where Dricus tends to grow stronger and more dangerous.
I think Khamzat will take Dricus down, but I believe, and this is obviously just top of the head, if Khamzat doesn't finish Dricus when he takes him down, I don't think he wins that fight.
Whittaker said Dricus du Plessis is one of those fighters who doesn't go away and tends to get better as the fight goes on. He described Dricus as very resilient and believes that if you don't finish him early, it's hard to beat him because he keeps pushing forward and gaining momentum.
Dricus is one of those dudes that doesn't go away, and he gets better if anything over the rounds. He's just so resilient. So if you don't get him out of there, I don't see him beating him.
On the other hand, Dricus du Plessis said Khamzat Chimaev is an incredible fighter, but everyone in the UFC's top 5 is elite. He praised Khamzat's aggressive style and called him an animal, but pointed out the Gilbert Burns fight was close and mentioned Whittaker's injury. Still, he believes Khamzat deserves a title shot after that performance. He compared it to Strickland's win over Costa and said he was more excited to face Khamzat anyway.
Khamzat's an incredible fighter, but you're fighting in the top 5 of the UFC. Everybody's incredible fighters. He has this one thing that works for him, and it's been good. But Khamzat is an absolute animal, absolutely. But I mean, you look at the Gilbert Burns fight, which you could have scored either way. You look at the Kamaru Usman fight and you go, yeah, he did beat Robert Whittaker. But obviously, his teeth broke back. It's unfortunate. He is really good. So, deserving of a title shot 100% after that performance. If you look at the Strickland's last performance versus Paulo Costa, and then you look at Khamzat's last performance versus Robert Whittaker, that's it. No-brainer that Khamzat gets the title fight. And I had my own selfish reasons. I was more excited to fight a Khamzat.
Moreover, Sean Strickland gave an honest take on the Khamzat versus du Plessis matchup, drawing from his own training experience. He said Dricus can win, but only if he's able to deal with Khamzat's high-level wrestling. Strickland mentioned that guys like Chimaev are tough to handle because of how well they mix things up and set traps. While Strickland feels confident in his own ability to stop that kind of grappling, he's not sure Dricus can do the same. Still, he believes if Dricus shuts down the wrestling, he should win.
Did you see DDP and Khamzat got announced?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
Chicago.
Oh no. They're letting the Harrison.
Do you think he beats DDP or do you think DDP retains?
It's hard. So those little Chechen, they can grapple. And like someone like me who I've been training with for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple him. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him. But if he can, I think he wins all hands down, I sparred the Chechen, like hands down. I think Dracus wins, but it's just gonna come down to like, are you gonna be able to like counter wrestle? And like you can, it's not hard.
Ilya Topuria shared a respectful view, praising both fighters. He highlighted Chimaev's aggressive style and willingness to chase the finish rather than leave it to the judges. Though close with both, Topuria said he's just excited as a fan to watch the fight and hopes the best for them.
He's the man. He's a savage. He calls him his shots. He finishes his opponents. When he goes inside the octagon, you know that that guy goes for the finish. He's not looking for the decision. That's why I respect Khamzat. He's a beast. So he deserves to fight for the title as soon as possible. We're gonna have an amazing fight because I love Dricus du Plessis. He's a great human being. I have a great relationship with him. I have a great relationship with Khamzat also. But as a fan of mixed martial arts, it's going to be a very exciting fight. I hope the best man wins, and I wish best of the luck to both of them.
Darren Till gave his take on the upcoming fight between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis with genuine respect. He acknowledged du Plessis' commitment, hard work, and awkward style that often throws opponents off. Despite that, Till sees Chimaev as the favorite, predicting that he'll likely get the job done within 2 rounds. Till also mentioned a recent conversation with Khamzat where even Chimaev admitted this would be a tough matchup. Still, Till believes Chimaev's strength and confidence will carry him to an early finish.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, I'm with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds. I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows. I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done.
On the other hand, Ariel Helwani offered a more strategic perspective. He described du Plessis as a fighter who grows stronger as the bout progresses. According to Helwani, Dricus usually uses the opening rounds to analyze his opponent, gradually adapting and shifting the fight in his favor. Even if Chimaev starts strong, Helwani feels du Plessis has the ability to make adjustments mid-fight and potentially seize control in the later rounds.
It's one
now,
of the
which
great
direction are you putting that down? Are you transferring that
I
to
think
DDP?
DDP figures it out. I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out. And I think it's like a learning lesson for him and all this stuff.
Demetrius Johnson offered some insight into how the fight could unfold. He warned that if Chimaev fails to finish early, he could begin to fade in the later rounds, a trend seen in his past bouts with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. Johnson pointed out that du Plessis' unorthodox movement and long reach could disrupt Chimaev's rhythm, giving Dricus an edge if he weathers the early storm and applies pressure over time.
If Chimaev cannot get him down,
he will. But yeah.
But let's say he does get him down.
Yep.
And he doesn't finish him, right? I think he's spent. Because you look at his fights. You look when he fought Gilbert Burns, when he fought Kamaru Usman. He had Kamaru Usman fully mounted, back hooks and everything, right?
Yep.
Working for the choke, pounding him, could not finish him.
Couldn't get him.
The rest of the time, he could not find it was shadow boxer. Granted, he might be sick or whatever.
Yep.
But if he cannot figure it out within those first 2 rounds or the first round he gets him down, I think DDP is gonna do what he does best.
Yep.
He's gonna be awkward. He's gonna be do the kicks, and I think DDP is gonna beat him.
Yeah.
Like
I could see it.
I think Khamzat Chimaev is more athletic, more traditional, but I think that awkwardness of the old what did he say? The lanky man style.
Yep.
I think DDP is gonna put in the bag.
Bo Nickal expressed strong support for Chimaev, especially because of his elite grappling. As a wrestler himself, Nickal emphasized the rising importance of wrestling in MMA today, referencing top athletes like Islam Makhachev, Merab Dvalishvili, Bilal Muhammad, and Chimaev. He also mentioned that even striking specialists like Robert Whittaker rely on their wrestling base.
I would, just based on the styles, I just think the grappling style, I might be biased. I'm definitely biased, but I think the grappling style is so hard to beat, and it's so hard to defend against. And I guess if you look at it from a analytical point of view, you have so many. It's really become the dominant force in the sport. You got Merab, you got Islam, you got Bilal, you got Khamzat. You even have, you can even look at Topuria. Obviously, people know he's more of a boxing style, and he does a lot more striking, but his background is wrestling. You know, he did that before anything else. And so it's really wrestlers that are dominating, grapplers that are dominating the sport right now. And so I think that I would give the edge to Khamzat.
However, Nickel did raise one concern. Chimaev's endurance in the later rounds remains unproven. He noted that Du Plessis has already shown he can maintain energy through longer fights. If the bout reaches the 4th and 5th rounds, Nickel believes Du Plessis may have the advantage in terms of stamina and resilience. Still, overall, he backs Chimaev due to his superior ground game.
But we still have yet to see Khamzat ever fight a 4th and a 5th round. We've seen that from DDP, and so that's where he would have the advantage. You know, if it goes deep, 4th and 5th round, I think that DDP might be able to pull it out. But you know, all in all, I think the grappling style is definitely an overwhelming style to try to deal with.
Kamaru Usman reflected on his own experience facing Chimaev, saying that once Chimaev gains back control, escaping becomes extremely difficult due to his grip and control. He questioned whether Chimaev would be able to apply the same game plan against Du Plessis, who brings a different kind of threat compared to others Chimaev has faced.
Khamzat Chimaev on your back round 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in, and that goes to show how strong of a squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
Michael Bisping shared his breakdown of the fight, stating that Chimaev's best shot at victory lies in a quick finish. He praised Du Plessis' impressive record, 23 wins with just 2 losses, and reminded fans that this would be his 3rd title defense. Bisping recalled some of Du Plessis' big wins, like his 4th round submission over Adesanya and his close battles with Sean Strickland.
And I'm telling you, he's going to try and finish Dricus Du Plessis straight away. And that's his best bet. Now, Dricus Du Plessis, this man's on fire, right? He's 23-2 overall. He's on an 11-fight win streak. He's got 10 wins in the UFC. And of course, this will be his 3rd title defense. He beat Sean Strickland by unanimous decision. He choked out Israel Adesanya in the 4th round, and he took the belt, as we know, in a close split decision victory over Sean Strickland way back at UFC 297. But they always say when you become the champion, you get 30% better. This man is improving all the time. He's got tremendous grappling of his own.
Bisping also warned that Chimaev may face challenges if he assumes he can dominate Du Plessis on the ground and get a fast submission. He pointed out that Du Plessis is highly skilled in grappling, even submitting multiple black belts in training, while Chimaev has shown strong performances at middleweight, especially in his bout against Whitaker. Du Plessis' size, technique, and constant improvement make him a serious test.
If Khamzat Chimaev thinks that he's going to go out there and just take down Dricus Du Plessis and just choke him out, right, like he's some schmuck, like he doesn't know what he's doing, like he's not someone that choked out an entire black belt jiu-jitsu team one after the other, then I think Khamzat Chimaev will be in for a rude awakening. Now, of course, since Khamzat Chimaev moved up to 185 pounds, he's looked phenomenal, okay? The way that he destroyed Robert Whitaker, that was so impressive.
Jamahal Hill gave a slight edge to Du Plessis, noting that he often rises to the occasion and exceeds expectations. Hill cited Dricus' cardio and raw strength as key advantages, particularly as Chimaev tends to slow down in later rounds. He believes Du Plessis' unpredictable striking could create game-changing moments. That said, Hill acknowledged Chimaev's elite grappling remains a major threat throughout the fight.
I probably favor DDP in that one, just for the simple fact of I've doubted this dude so many times now, and he's shut me up bad every time. It may look like he's like fatiguing or he's like slowing down, but he's really not. I think he's got the better cardio. His physical strength, I believe, can pose a problem for anybody in that division. We've seen Khamzat fade over the course of rounds before. I just believe Dricus has a really, really awkward way of throwing strikes that's not easy to time, get a read on. So I believe he will land. So I probably lean more towards DDP, but you can't count a guy like Khamzat out. I believe he's one of the best natural pure grapplers. He does have the ability to throw some hands too. So it's interesting.
Lastly, MMA Guru gave a mixed opinion. He admitted he once firmly believed Du Plessis would win and still thinks Dricus might be too physically dominant to be controlled easily. But he also recognized how dangerous Chimaev is in the opening round. Guru's heart leans toward Du Plessis, but his head acknowledges the challenge Chimaev presents early on.
DDP? I don't know anymore, man. These guys are... I used to think, you know what, DDP's got him. And I still think that, dude, he might just be too strong to be muscled around like this.
Yeah.
But Chimaev is truly on a different level.
I think DDP beats him.
I think he could, and I am leaning that way.
Yeah.
But now I'm real.
Yeah.
You know, I also want DDP to win, but I'm leaning towards DDP.
Yeah.
Because I think the idea of Chimaev is a round one guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He also suggested Duplessis shouldn't just focus on defending takedowns. Instead, he encouraged a more aggressive approach, pushing the pace early, attacking first, and even attempting his own takedowns to throw Chimaev off. Guru noted that Chimaev's past opponents often let him dictate the fight. By flipping the script and applying pressure from the start, Duplessis could disrupt Chimaev's rhythm and force him to adapt.
So this is why I don't think DDP should go out there like, got stuff to take down. Dude, get on his hips before you.
Yep.
You know, and if he stuffs it, so be it. It'll be the least thing he expects. And for a second, Chimaev, who's a killer, he's a murderer.
Yep.
He goes out there, I'm gonna drag this guy in the first round, destroy him. For a second, he goes, what the?
Yeah.
If you can snap that on Chimaev for a second, Whitaker, he never had a moment in that fight where he thought, what's going on?
It was he got me back.
He was complete composure. Same with Usman. Burns had him re-second guess himself.
Yep.
But all the good first rounds he's had, there's never been a snap in his mental game. That always happens in the later rounds. But if DDP shoots on him, there's a moment in Chimaev's head where he goes, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's not this killer in a fight.
Renier de Ridder spoke about the uniqueness of both his and Dricus du Plessis' fighting styles, noting that their unconventional techniques and movement could make a potential fight between them exciting and hard to predict. With a bit of humor, he joked that their Dutch roots might have something to do with it and hinted that the matchup might happen soon.
They said that your style, they said that your style also is very, very weird. How would a fight between you and Duplessis goes just because both your fighting styles, like I said, are very weird?
Yeah, it must be the Dutch genes. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see soon.
He also discussed the idea of facing Khamzat Chimaev, saying it would likely be a high-paced technical grappling contest filled with scrambles and positional battles. De Ridder sees it as a difficult but thrilling challenge on the ground. He added that if Khamzat gets a few rounds in, it could help reveal more about his approach and how he handles tough situations.
And maybe if you don't fight Duplessis and say you fight Khamzat, how do you see that going?
Yeah, I think it will be a very, very cool grappling match. Lots of nice wrestling scrambles, lots of nice positions to go through. But I'll be happy if he gets some rounds in with Dricus, so I can have some more to study. We'll see.
When asked about Chimaev's status in the division, De Ridder said he doesn't see him as the most dangerous fighter out there. He pointed to Nasruddin Imavov as a more complete threat, someone who moves smartly, stays composed, and uses effective tactics. Still, De Ridder gave credit to Chimaev's talent and skills, recognizing him as a strong competitor.
Do you feel like Khamzat's the most feared opponent in your division?
Not by me. I think there's better fighters in the division, to be honest. More complete guys. I think we don't really talk about them as much. But the French guy, what's his name?
Imavov?
He's very complete. He moves very well, very relaxed, very smart when he fights. I think that might be a harder fight, to be honest. But Khamzat is, of course, is a great fighter.
Finally, Renier de Ridder shared his belief that Dricus du Plessis has the tools to withstand Khamzat Chimaev's early aggression. He feels that if Duplessis can weather the storm in the opening rounds, he could shift the momentum and potentially take over the fight. De Ridder even suggested that a late finish by Duplessis in the 4th or 5th round is possible. Still, he concluded by saying that only time will tell how the fight unfolds.
He gets better as longer as the rounds go on. And I think he can survive that early onslaught of Khamzat. So I think Dricus can pull the win out. Maybe a late finish, 4th or 5th round. But we'll see.
That's it for today's video. So what are your thoughts on this? What do you think about their fight? Share your thoughts in the comments section, and also make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video. Also check out our other videos on the screen.